Lagos region comprises of 5 sub-regions located at one at Akomba, that is Sudere. We have one at Aja, we have one at Ikeja West, that is Ayobo area. We have one at Eben, that is Ikorodu. And the last but not the least is one located at Papalantu, that's Ogun State. So actually it covers both Lagos State and Ogun State. And these are the major areas of power supply, the major areas that Lagos region supply power to. And beyond that, it serves Benin Republic through one 330 kV line from Ikeja West. So apart from Lagos and Ogun, it still serves outside this country. Okay, I want to basically say that the power need of a place is dependent on so many factors. One of the greatest factors is the population of the area that is connected to the power supply. And then the other one is the level of industrialization and the level of commercial and social activities. When you look at Lagos plus Ogun, you discover that Lagos alone has a population of not less than 20 million people. And most of these people have access to electricity. And then when you now add Ogun, it's much more than 20 million. Then you now talk of industrialization. As far as our country is concerned, even West Africa as a whole, Lagos is the most industrialized place. And then when you look at Lagos organizes, you find out that you cannot even be able to distinguish which part is Lagos now, which part is Ogun. Everything is fed by industries and commercial activities. So I want to let you know that the power need of Lagos, Ogun, and even the one that is exported out of this country is quite substantial. By rating the power need of Lagos and Ogun is up to about 30% of the total power need of the country. So, yet coming to the person you asked me, that the federal government through the Ministry of Mines and Power, Power, Water, Housing, and through the TCN, we have a program of rehabilitation and expansion of our transmission network. Like I told you, we have 5 sub-regions under Lagos region. So, for us to be able to supply this power to the people that need it, to the industries that need it, we have a lot of programs. And those programs range from aggressive maintenance of what we have already. We have to maintain. I so much believe, and the company so much believe that maintenance is key, because we cannot talk of sustainable development without maintenance, and that is where we have some problems in the country, because one of the major challenges we have is poor maintenance culture. If, for instance, two parents come together and give birth to a child, and they don't take care, maintain that child, and the child dies, and they struggle again, give birth to another child, and without maintenance, the child dies. One day the parents will get old and also die. That will be the end. If they give birth to a child and maintain the child, and then that child grows up, matures, give birth to another, the growth rate will be sustained. That is what I understand by sustainable development. There will be development. So we have this in mind, and that is what makes us to actually, first of all, make sure that we maintain what we have already. We maintain our lines, we maintain our transformers, our transmission infrastructures, and then we have a program of rehabilitation also. As an agreement is having, of course, it continues to get old. But when you look at it, you can include rehabilitation in your program. That is what we are doing. We include the rehabilitation of our transmission lines, rehabilitation of our transformers. One way we rehabilitate our transformer is by passing them through regeneration process. You see, to make sure that the quality of the oil inside the transformer is what it's supposed to be. And by doing that, we are prolonging the life of the transformer. We have carried out one at Alabon just recently. We regenerated a 16-bed transformer there, and it's serving very, very well now. We have done it in some other transformers in our network. We have that program for older transformers in network to enhance their lifespan. Then also, what we have been doing in the area of rehabilitation, we have, if you look at Lagos area, you'll find out that one of the major challenges is this corrosion, because the water is salty. You see? So most of it attacks our steel tower members and our insulators. So, and if care is not taken, those insulators will begin to detach. Some of our transmission lines pass through the water lagoon, and you can imagine a situation where nothing is done and that conductor, that insulator detaches and the conductor falls into the water. They say it will take a lot of efforts to bring it up, and people will be out of supply for the period. So we have looked at that. We have actually done aggressive rehabilitation on that line. The line from Ajad to Heaven. It passed mostly through the lagoon, and we have been able to remove all the corroded insulators and replace them with good ones. We have done it on the line from Alabo to Akoka also. We are looking at other lines in town to continue to do that. It's part of our rehabilitation to make sure that those things are placed. Then we have other rehabilitation programs. We have some substations, GIS substations, gas insulated stations. We have them at Haja, we have them at Alabo. Alabo is relatively new, so it doesn't need rehabilitation. We have them at Apapa Road, we have it at Ambo, we have it at Itere, we have it at Akoka. All these things have been penciled down for rehabilitation. In fact, in no distant time, that of Apapa Road will commence, because the agreement has been signed through an arrangement with the Japanese government through the GEOFFREY project. It's going to be done through a grant given courtesy of the federal government of Nigeria. So it will soon take off. And other ones are in plan. So these are part of the rehabilitation was removing the old GIS and bringing new ones to be able to serve the people well. And all these things come with upgrading transformer capacity. So other rehabilitation was done at Ejibo. We removed 2 by 30 MVA transformer there. I would replace them with 2 by 100. You see. And we also even added extra capacity again by installing a mobile transformer there. When the 30 MVA transformer was being replaced by 100, we must have to close the gap. We installed a mobile transformer there to be taking care of the services to the people. So we have abundant capacity at Ejibo now. So while doing the rehabilitation projects, one thing the company has in mind is to create kind of redundancy in our systems, so that if a transformer goes out, people will not feel it. The gap have been closed, have been issued, because the other transformers we take off the service that one that goes out is actually providing. So we also want to achieve it in the area of line. If a line goes out, we will not pay it because they are being feed from other. We are trying to close the loop both in the 330 and 132 KB lines. These are the programs we have outlined in the company so that we provide excellent service to the people. So apart from the transformer I mentioned to you that was installed at Ejibo as a kind of upgrading, we have within the last 9 months, the last 1 year, from September last year to now, we have been able to add not less than 655 MVA transformer capacity into the system in Lagos and Ogun. I told you that Lagos region covers up to Ogun. And these ones were done, in addition to the one done at Ejibo, we replaced 30 MVA transformer at Alimosho with 100. Then at Odogunyo is a greenfield project. It's a tiny project where 2 by 60 MVA transformers were commissioned to service just a few months ago. Then at Odabukuta, we replaced 2 by 30 MVA transformers there with 60 MVA transformer, 2 numbers. At Papalanto, we replaced the 50 MVA transformer with 60 MVA transformer. At Ajahia, we installed the 60 MVA transformer there. At New Abeokuta, we have completed 2 by 60 MVA transformer. The Honorable Minister of Power and MD, they will soon come to commission it. They haven't concluded. And you see, all these transformers and the new substations, they must have to elect. So while we are rehabilitating transformers and installing new ones, there must have to be associated transmission lines. The line from double circle line from Ota to Papalanto, turning into Papalanto and out to Odabukuta has been completed. And then from Odabukuta, that's where 132 kV cycle line emanates into New Abeokuta substation. All these things have been completed. That is about rehabilitation. Now we have expansion projects. I told you that if you are moving from Lagos to Ogun, you hardly demarcate which one is Lagos, which one is Ogun State because of clusters of industry along the line. So you cannot have an industry that compete very well with the industries outside the country without providing adequate power supply. If they depend on their own generation, it will be a problem. And that actually has affected many industries in the past. So the company has looked at it and discovered that there is actually need to provide adequate power in that axis. And that has made the company decent with the federal government to come into a program of providing clusters of transmission lines along that axis and 330 and 132 kV substations. We have planned to build the 330 kV substation at Ejo. It's going to be a switching station. It's going to be a big station. And that Ejo, the line from Ikeja West to Oshobo will turn into that place. And there will be a line from Olonshogo to that place. And then from there, there will be a 132 kV line to New Abeokuta. And then from Ejo, you have a line, 330 kV line that will be going to Ogijo. Ogijo is going to be another big 330 kV station. Then from Ogijo, there will be a 330 kV line to New Ambara. New Ambara will be a 330 kV substation too. From there, we construct a line to Badagry. Now we don't have 132 kV substation in Badagry. There will be a 132 kV there by the end of that project. That project is under JICA. It's an arrangement with the Japanese government. And then we are going to turn in the line from Omotosho, Ikeja, West Benin, into Mountain of Fire. At that Mountain of Fire, we're going to install 2 by 150 MVA transformer. And then from Ogijo, there will be a line that will go into Redeem, and there will be 120 kV substation in Redeem with 2 by 60 MVA transformer. Then from that to Ogijo, there will be a line that will connect to the existing Ikorodu Shagamu 150 kV line. Now it's going to be a broad line. We have not had it in the system before. It's going to be short, but it's going to be a wonderful, source of power supply to that axis. We have a clusters of steel factories along that Ikorodu Shagamu axis. So that will make that leads me to also remind you that we have a rehabilitation project also going on along that Ikorodu Shagamu axis. Now the existing line is on this tubular pole. So but there's a program replacing all those tubular poles with steel, lattice towers, and it has gone to substantial. In fact, by the end of this year, as I agree with the contractor, that job will be completed. One of the things that delayed some of those jobs was because of our material that were stocked at the wharf. Sometimes by the efforts of the present management, most of those containers are out. About more than 600 number of containers are out, and have been able to speed up the projects. And some of the things that were the contractors that could not deliver the projects on time, the current management have been using in-house engineers to get those projects, most of them done and delivered and commissioned, and that's serving the people now. So that is it. And I want to also point out one thing that the ministry with TCN is doing. They are planning to close up the Lagos loop. Then, when you talk about redundancy in terms of transmission, if you come to a station and if that station is in a loop, what it means that if this part of the transmission line coming into that station is off, supply will still come from the other side. But if it's not a loop, it's a radial line. If that line is off, there will be no station there. So what I mean by closing, people will not get supply. When we talk of losing the 330 kV loop, because now the 130 is closed up in Lagos. That's why if we lose supply in this Ijora, for instance, that is fed from Agomba and also fed from through Oworo, through Akoda to this place, and even through Alabo to this place. If the line from Ijora, Agomba to this place is off, we still get supply for it because it's a loop. We still have supply. But the only 330 kV line that feeds Lagos Island now is the line from Ebony, Daja, through the lagoon. So anytime that line is off, that Lagos Island area, Lekki and Ajabo, got all supply. So what the management wants to do is to construct a line from Alabo, because from Alabo, 330 kV line is connected to Lekki to Alabo. Inside Alabo, we now want to connect Alabo through here, through Ijora, because we have the plan of constructing 330 kV substation at this Ijora. We now connect through Alabo through Ijora to Akomba. So from Akomba is connected to Ijora, is connected to the entire grid. So if there's problem with the line from Ebony to Aja, we still get supply to this loop. So it's one of the projects that is being considered under the TAP. And there's this project I want to also mention, the construction of 330 kV double circuit line from Omotosho to Epe, from Epe to Aja. It's under construction now. It's been awarded. The idea is, there is this government program of free trade zone around the site. You know already that there is plan to construct the airport there. and seaport. That means creating another Lagos altogether. And of course, there will be serious population expansion in that area. Because people, industries, and we are envisaging that the power need of that place need to be augmented. So already transmission is doing something. They want to construct a substation at it, and then link it to the motor show is ongoing now. So another project that is ongoing now in the 330 kV direction is the transmission line, double circle line from Omotosho to Eruka. That's Eruka is that Ejo that I mentioned before. It's Ogijo. Ejo, not Ogijo. One of the major challenges we're having is people violating the regulation, building under our transmission right of way. If you move along Lagos and even beyond, you see houses, magnificent houses under 330 and 150 kV lines. Apart from the danger of all the radiations, which is steady on them, which will be affecting their life, we have been talking. What if any of those lines drop? Because like I told you, Lagos is a salty environment as far as this water is concerned. So, and sometimes these insulators corrode, and so it has dropped in the, like going before, it had been dropping around. What a situation that line drops on top of the building, it will be disaster. So it's something that is giving us sleepless nights because it's all over there. We have been writing, we have been talking, we have been enlightening. So we also want the media to help us to pass this message. And the Lagos State government have been trying, we have been requesting, we have been collaborating with them, but we want government to increase effort in that direction, maybe probably promulgate a law that will be against that. A situation where such houses will be there and they are metered. They are supplied with electricity. They should look in that. All the stakeholders have to think about this and know what to do, because if a single line of such voltage magnitude drops on top of the building, well, it will be disaster. 330 kV line on top of it, and there is all over there, and the insulators are corroded by this salty water. So government should help us promulgate maybe a kind of law and which will prevent people from building into the right of. Another problem we are having is this sand mining, excavating around our tower bases. They just showed me one now. I became disturbed. People wouldn't go and begin to look for sand outside our right of way and near our tower. I don't know what is attracting them there. But we continue. At times they are armed. The report I got now is that they are even armed. They excavate, so it's not a low profile kind of activity. You see. So that's another battle we have, excavating around our tower bases and exposing those towers to danger. At times it affects our counterforce conductors. And if those counterforce conductors are severed, the lighting system, the integrity will not be ensured again. It's both unsafe for the people and unsafe for the equipment itself. So these are the problems we're having. The system collapse that occurred early in the year was precipitated by low generation. So because of insufficient fuel, gas, that was costly, because if the generation is low to an extent, the system will be fragile. Any turbulence in the system can lead to collapse. If the generation is ample, even if a certain line goes out, it wouldn't fit it like that. So we're coming to the plan we have going forward. I told you, we know that there is a place, the Lagos State government have mapped out as free trade zone. We don't want to wait for anybody. We have started thinking of how to construct a 3 kV substation there. Nobody has told us that a lot of industries are coming up. That's why we have come up with a program. We have come up with a program of constructing under greenfield projects, all those transmission lines at Ejo, at Mountain of Fire, at Redeem, at Niobara, at Badagry, increasing the capacity, constructing a port line, double single port line from Ogijo to link Ikorodu, Shagamu 122 kV line. So we know that we're also planning to increase the capacity of the transformer at Alabo, installing 300 MVA, 312 kV transformer there, and the additional 100 MVA 123 and all that. So we have all those programs. The advantage is a place that should be attractive to any investor. If you have been there, it's quite massive, and I know it will be needing very stable and quality power supply. Actually, we have approached us that we are thinking, we are discussing with them, on the possibility of the Cape Port 3 kV line from Alabo or from Lekki. We are exploring a situation where we take 122 kV substation. Also 122 kV line from either Lekki or from Alabo. The study is going on now, and I believe it will be realized. So we are on plan with them to get at least a 2 kV line to that place, and on a long term 122 kV line and substation at a plant. I can tell you to a large extent the system is stable now. But I can tell you one challenge that we have. Electricity network is not isolated from each other. Right from the generating station, it is the same connection, maybe with different capacities of infrastructures. From generation through transmission through distribution to people's house, there are connections all along the line. So if any part of this network is for you to affect the other. So even if we have ample capacity at the transmission side, if generation has problem, or even from the gas supply, if there's problem in gas supply, it will affect the entire network. If there's problem in the generation, it will affect the entire network. If there's problem in transmission, it will affect the entire network. If there's problem in distribution, people will not get what actually they expect. And then also, if the people who are Nigerians, the consumers, are not behaving the way it should be, assuming that power is supplied to them, and it's hard to get back the revenue, because you cannot really do this without money. You know how much you buy the fuel, the petrol or the diesel you use to power your own generator in your house. You know how much, and it cannot serve you for 24 hours. So this electricity is not coming from the moon. Gas is purchased to generate it in gas fire turbines, and other expenses are made on the hydro. So there should be, if this electricity is supplied, everybody has to behave well, right from the consumers, through the service provider, through the distribution, through the transmission, through generation, through those who are supplying gas. If everybody does what it's supposed to do, I can assure you, we have the capacity, we have the capability of supplying 24 hours power to these people of this country. But if power is supplied to me, for instance, and I don't pay, how do I want the distribution to get money to maintain those equipments there? And if the distribution doesn't collect that money, that at the end of the day, there are the people that collect the interface with the final consumers. They collect this money and settle all the invoices. Right now, the invoice for transmission that I said is not more than 41%. And how do you maintain all these equipments without money? So it puts us on a very big stress. So what I can say, he needs everybody to understand and to work together as a people. You know, everybody should do what he's supposed to do. If this power is supplied to the government, let them wholeheartedly pay. And then at the end, everybody will get what is supposed to come to him or her as a company. And they know what is supposed to do. At the end, everybody will smile.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for more information on the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN.